Hey, good morning, guys. Today I have a very important question to ask. Some of you may look at it as being strange, but this is based on experience. So the question is too much capital bad for a business, especially a business that is just starting? Is it better for you to have a good idea and maybe $100,000 to execute it, or to have that same good idea and have maybe half of that amount or even a quarter of that amount? Which is better? If you look at a lot of stories going on in the newspapers, if you watch entrepreneurship and co, you discover one thing. A lot of businesses that raise huge capital because they have good idea, many of them end up failing. And this is something that I have had a personal experience with. So let me give you my experience. We had a great idea way before a lot of other businesses started it. We called it Carry-Am. Carry-Am was supposed to be a company. If you want to ship something, you are able to book a ride online, like the Go-Karter. We had that idea many years before Carry-Am came up. And we had investors that loved it. Within 3 months, we were able to raise like $100,000. And probably like 4 months thereabout of pitching the idea, we raised about $100,000. Now, the funny thing about this, because we had so much money at the beginning, a lot of things went wrong. I wasn't the CEO of the company, but we had situations where the CEO and some of the board members, right, instead of us doing things that startups did on their own, we were hiring consultants to do virtually everything. Right? So we had a situation where we had a consultant just to write everyday reports for us. We're paying them millions on a monthly basis. I wasn't very much in support of it, but again, in a company, you have a board and you can really say much against the board. Recruitment, things that the internal staff could do, we were hiring recruitment experts to do it. Why? Because the money was there. And that company today folded up once that money finished. Because again, you need to understand how investors work. If an investor gives you money for Series A, for example, and you are not able to show a growth, something positive, you are not able to prove that that business idea is actually executable, they will not fund you again. And you see, there's a huge difference between having so much money and being able to execute on a business. It is execution that wins a business. It's not about the idea. There are many people that have massive ideas, better ideas, but their businesses today are nowhere. Why? Because they couldn't execute. In the early phase of a business, I have seen that it is very detrimental to have too much capital. You are going to spend money in ways that does not make sense. This is the same thing that happens to Africa. A lot of African countries, Nigeria included, they have so much resources. We saw crude oil. And then what happened? All our granite pyramids, all our farming, everything just went to zero. Now Nigeria is importing food. This is a country that have massive land space available. Every governor, every state, all they are waiting for is the crude oil allocation. Why? Because we got that capital. We got that infusion of money when we had not developed our business as a country. You see, a country is a business, and it's the same principle. Look, it's not only Nigeria or my experience. I see this happen a lot with individuals who come to invest. Let me give you an example. A lot of times when you have individuals who have worked abroad, and I've seen like 3 instances of this, who have worked abroad, they've accumulated so much money, and they say, let me come and start a business in Nigeria. Most of the time, those businesses fail. It's not because they do not understand the business terrain, but it's because they have so much capital and they begin to jump into everything they see. They begin to invest money anyhow. Money that people will not have ordinarily invested, they will begin to invest it. I had a friend who came from the UK. After working for close to 15 years, he came back to Nigeria and he had a lot of money. He was looking for business to start. And what did he do? He started buying up buildings. There was a particular building that was abandoned for close to 15 years. This guy took the building, renovated it. The funny thing was, every idea that people brought to him looked lucrative because he had the money. He didn't do his research. He didn't do his groundwork. All he knew was that the money was there and he had to put money into the business. Take a look at some of the most valuable companies in the world. They didn't start with so much capital. Facebook did not start with so much capital because to scale at a point, once you've proven that the business is viable, then you start looking for capital. But I can tell you, based on experience, it is very detrimental. A lot of times, startups that start with very large capital typically fail. And that's why you see a lot of the children of some of these billionaires end up not being very good in business. Very few. Count it. How many of the leading companies today, how many of the leading startups, how many of the leading businesses were created by children of billionaires and millionaires? Why? Because they have so much money, they invest it in those business and those business fail. It's a well-known fact. If you want to start up a new business, right, the best thing you can do for yourself is do not focus too much on raising massive capital. And this is very common with some of these Ivy League educated people, all these people that have MBA. They are taught in those MBAs that as soon as you have a good idea, the next thing you should do is you start looking for investors. It doesn't work. It kills a lot of businesses. Apart from killing businesses, because when you have too much money, you begin to do crazy things, it also leads to quicker devaluation of your equity in that company. Now, when you have a business that has 10,000 customers, right? And because you have so much money, somebody who is valuing that company is going to value it less than one who has 100,000 customers. And you lose a lot in your equity contribution. When you are starting a new business, don't focus too much on raising capital. There are people who are like that. All their focus is, oh, let me raise capital. No, work with what you have. I can tell you for a fact, there are a lot of businesses that if they worked with the funds, the amount that they had, they will be different from where they are now. Like I gave you the example, Cariam was a venture we started. Beautiful idea. We had the idea way before any other person had that idea. But because in the first 3 months we raised $100,000, what happened? Boom. We started spending money anyhow. If you are starting a new business, learn to spend as if you are broke. You don't need the new things. You don't need the fancy things. You don't need the consultants. You don't need to hire experts to do your marketing. You can do everything on your own. That way you become better. You get to understand every aspect of your business, and I can guarantee you, you will be a success.